Hollow Knight is a beautiful Metroidvania with a haunting atmosphere. Explore the vast underground kingdom of Hallownest as a silent knight uncovering its secrets and battling deadly foes with your trusty nail. The hand-drawn art style and haunting soundtrack create a truly unique and immersive experience. Combat is tight and responsive, demanding skill to master. Gain new abilities and spells to reach new areas and overcome challenging bosses. Discovering hidden paths and upgrades is incredibly rewarding, but be warned, this game is tough and the map can be confusing. Still, Hollow Knight is a must-play for fans of the genre and anyone seeking a unique and unforgettable gaming experience. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a side-scrolling action platformer that brings back the classic feel of the old games but with a fresh, modern look. It mixes fast-paced combat with clever puzzles and platforming challenges, making each level feel really exciting. I was really impressed by how smooth the movement feels, especially when chaining jumps and wall runs together. The boss fights are fun and require some strategy, but some of them felt a bit too easy. The art style is beautiful, with vibrant colors that make the world feel alive. Even though some of the puzzles were a little repetitive, the combat and platforming kept me hooked. Animal Well is one of those games where you start off completely lost, but then as you keep exploring, everything starts making sense. And that feeling is just so satisfying. It's a puzzle platformer that drops you into this quiet but mysterious world filled with strange creatures and hidden secrets everywhere. The game doesn't explain much, so you have to experiment and figure things out, which makes every discovery feel super rewarding. The only downside is that it can be a little too cryptic at times, so if you don't like getting stuck, you might find it frustrating. But if you enjoy a game that respects your curiosity, this is an amazing experience. Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, is a real treat for fans of the original game because it takes everything that was awesome about it and turns it up to 11. Like, the animation is even more incredible with that classic cartoon style, and the music is just as catchy and fun to listen to. Plus, it adds a bunch of new levels and bosses that are some of the most creative and challenging ones yet. So get ready for some serious controller throwing moments. But the best part is, you get to play as Miss Chalice, this brand new character with her own cool moves and abilities that make the game feel fresh and exciting, like a double jump and a dash move that lets you avoid attacks. But be warned, some of these bosses are seriously tough and might make you want to pull your hair out, but if you love the original Cuphead, you absolutely have to check out The Delicious Last Course. Celeste is a challenging but rewarding platformer where you play as Madeline, a girl who climbs a mountain, and this game is known for its tough difficulty, but it's also super fair, and the controls feel really tight and responsive, so you always feel like it's your fault when you mess up. Which, believe me, you will a lot, and the levels are designed with tons of hidden secrets and shortcuts that make you want to replay them over and over again to find everything. Plus, the story in Celeste is surprisingly deep and emotional, dealing with things like anxiety and self-doubt in a way that feels really genuine and relatable. And the music is absolutely amazing. It's like this beautiful mix of piano and electronic stuff that perfectly fits the mood of the game, but I gotta say some of those later levels are brutally hard, like seriously controller throwing frustrating. And while the story is great, it's told through these optional cutscenes that you can easily miss if you're not looking for them, so overall, Celeste is an awesome game with tight controls, a beautiful art style, and an amazing soundtrack that's definitely worth checking out even if you're not usually into hard platformers. Little Nightmares 2 is a creepy puzzle platformer where you play as Mono exploring a distorted world filled with disturbing creatures. Solve puzzles, and sneak past enemies to survive this nightmare world with its tense atmosphere and amazing sound design. You'll encounter terrifying monsters like the creepy teacher and the horrifying hunter. Team up with 6 from the first game to overcome obstacles and solve puzzles together. Though challenging at times, Little Nightmares 2 is a thrilling and unforgettable experience. A must-play for fans of horror games and anyone who enjoys a good scare. Hi-Fi Rush is a rhythm-based action game where you fight enemies to the beat of the music, mixing fast-paced combat with a colorful, cartoon-style world. I really loved how the gameplay feels so smooth when you sync your attacks with the beat, and the music makes every fight more exciting. The art style is vibrant and fun, and the characters are pretty charming too. However, sometimes the timing felt a bit off, which could get frustrating during tougher battles. But overall, the mix of music and action is just so fun and unique. If you enjoy rhythm games or just want something different, it's definitely worth checking out.
And getting the smackdown!
Unravel 2 is a cute and heartwarming puzzle platformer where you play as 2 little yarn creatures called Yarnies, connected by a thread, so you must work together to solve puzzles. You'll swing across gaps using your yarn abilities, which makes it a really great game to play with a friend because teamwork is key. The levels are beautiful, with amazing details like forests and beaches. You'll even swing through a playground. The music is really nice and relaxing, which makes you feel happy while you play. This game is full of challenges that will make you think, but it's never too hard, and you always feel clever when you figure out a puzzle. Unravel 2 is a great game for all ages. So if you want a fun and charming adventure that will make you smile, this is the perfect choice. Astrobot is a 3D platformer that feels like a love letter to classic games, with tight controls, beautiful environments, and some really fun mechanics. Every level introduces something new, whether it's a cool power-up or a clever platforming challenge. The way the game uses haptic feedback makes it feel super interactive, and honestly, it's one of the best platforming experiences on PlayStation. The only downside is that it's not the longest game out there, but every moment of it is packed with fun. If you love games that are just pure joy to play, this one is for you. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin is a unique blend of action platforming and rice farming simulation that will surprise you with its depth and charm. You play as Sakuna, a spoiled harvest goddess banished to a dangerous island with a group of human outcasts. To survive and return home, you'll need to master the art of combat using your divine raiment to grapple and attack enemies, while also learning to cultivate rice. The game features a surprisingly deep and satisfying farming system where you'll plant, harvest, and refine your rice crops to improve your stats and abilities. The combat is fast-paced and acrobatic, with a variety of weapons and skills to master as you explore the beautiful hand-drawn environments and uncover the secrets of the island. This is a truly special game that offers a unique and rewarding experience.
Oh, damn vacuum. Come on, we have to find Rose before she leaves.
It Takes Two is a unique co-op adventure, playable only with a friend. You'll journey as a couple turned into dolls solving puzzles and overcoming challenges in a magical world. The gameplay is constantly changing with exciting new mechanics around every corner. Experience thrilling moments like riding toy airplanes and battling giant squirrels in a vacuum cleaner. It Takes Two is creative and funny with a heartwarming story about love and relationships. While requiring 2 players and good communication, It Takes Two is an unforgettable co-op experience. This game is a must-play for anyone looking for a fun and unique adventure to share with a friend. Rogue Legacy 2 takes everything you loved about the original and makes it even better with a huge, vibrant world to explore and tons of new features. You'll play as a descendant of a noble family, exploring a procedurally generated castle filled with unique biomes like the enchanted Kerguelen Plateau and the challenging Axis Mundi. Each air has their own unique traits and abilities, making every run feel fresh and exciting. The combat is fast and fluid, with a wide variety of weapons and spells to master. You'll need to be on your toes to survive the challenging platforming sections and intense boss battles. And with the new relics system, you can gain powerful abilities that can change the way you play. Rogue Legacy 2 is a must-play for fans of roguelites and platformers alike, offering a rewarding and addictive experience that will keep you coming back for more. Streets of Rage 4 is an action-packed beat-em-up that brings back the classic arcade brawler experience, but with a fresh, modern look. The combat is super smooth, and every hit feels strong, whether you're throwing punches, kicks, or pulling off insane combos. The hand-drawn art style is beautiful, and the soundtrack just keeps you hyped from start to finish. There are tons of unlockable characters and different game modes to keep things interesting. Some boss fights can feel a little unfair, and playing solo can get tough, but when you're playing with friends, the game is just non-stop fun. If you love classic arcade games, this is definitely one of the best beat-em-ups you can play today. Neon White is a fast-paced action game where you play as an assassin trying to earn your place in heaven by competing with other demon slayers to kill demons, and you get to use cool weapons called soul cards to do it. The game has a really unique art style that mixes anime and cell shading, and it looks awesome. Plus, the levels are designed to be replayed over and over again, so you can try to get the best time. The story is pretty interesting and keeps you engaged, and the characters are all memorable with their own unique personalities, but the dialogue can be a bit cheesy at times. Overall, Neon White is a super fun and addictive game that's easy to pick up but hard to master because it requires quick reflexes and strategic thinking to succeed. So if you're looking for a challenge, this is definitely the game for you. So I tried Nine Sols recently and was really impressed by how well it combines fast-paced action and platforming with a story inspired by Asian mythology. I absolutely loved the hand-drawn art style that gives the game a really unique look. The combat is so much fun with the mix of swordplay and deflection mechanics that make every fight feel intense, but I did find some of the platforming parts to be a bit tricky because they require really precise jumps. The story is good, but it does feel like it drags in some places, but even with these small issues, I think it's a really solid game that's worth checking out if you like action platformers.
Time to wake up, Nightingale.
Withering Rooms is a horror adventure game where you explore a creepy mansion filled with terrifying creatures and tricky puzzles. And what I found really interesting was how the game keeps changing its environment, making each area feel new and unsettling, and the sound design is really good at building tension. But the controls can be frustrating at times, especially when you're trying to get away from enemies. And the story is a bit hard to follow. But even with its flaws, the game does a great job at creating a spooky atmosphere. So if you love horror games, you might want to check this one out. Stardew Valley is a farming game that's all about building the life you want, whether that means growing crops, making friends, or just spending your days fishing by the lake. The game lets you take things at your own pace, which makes it super relaxing, but there's always something new to discover. The townspeople all have unique stories, and you can even get married and start a family if you want. The early game can be a bit overwhelming since there's so much to do, but once you get into it, it's incredibly satisfying to watch your farm grow. It's one of those games that's easy to start, but really hard to put down.